So here's something interesting. This is the second stop on our journey across South Africa's PRASA rail transformation. In our previous episode, we explored Gauteng's recovery, from Park Station's bustling hub to the restored Soweto corridors, reconnecting 1.3 million residents with Johannesburg's economic opportunities. Now we're in Durban, KwaZulu-Natal's economic heartbeat, where rail recovery tells a different story here. One shaped by devastating natural disasters, coastal geography, and communities separated by apartheid-era planning who are now finding connection again. Just a reminder, this series profiles PRASA's rail network across 4 major regions. We've covered Gauteng. Today it's KwaZulu-Natal. Ahead lies the Eastern Cape and the Western Cape, each with unique challenges, distinct infrastructure needs, and their own transformation narratives. But here in Durban, the story is about resilience against extraordinary odds. To understand what's been achieved here, you need to understand what was lost. Between 2014 and 2018, Durban's Metrorail services moved on average 288,000 passengers every single day. Nearly 300 people depended on these trains for their livelihoods, their education, and their connections to opportunities. Then came the collapse. By 2022, daily ridership had crashed to just 9,000 passengers every single day. That was a 97% decline, one of the most catastrophic drops in public transport usage anywhere in the world. COVID lockdowns, systematic vandalism, and cable theft, as well as devastating April 2021 floods combined to essentially end rail service in KwaZulu-Natal. But here's the recovery story. As of 2025, Durban's Metrorail now moves on average 56,000 daily passengers across 124 trips. That's nearly 6 times the 2022 low. It's still only 20% of pre-collapse levels, but the trajectory is clear and it's accelerating upwards. Stand on any platform along the Umlazi Durban corridor and you'll witness KwaZulu-Natal's largest daily migration. This 14-station line carries the province's heaviest passenger load, connecting Umlazi, one of South Africa's largest townships, directly to Durban's CBD. Before the floods, this corridor alone moved over 40,000 daily commuters. It's classified as a Priority A infrastructure by PRASA, the highest designation reserved for lines that carry between 20 to 30,000 passengers per hour at peak capacity. Service was suspended completely after the 2021 floods, which devastated embankments, washed away rail foundation, and left the Zweletu tunnel severely damaged. By October of 2022, limited service resumed between Reunion and KwaMnyandu. January 23 saw the extension to Umlazi station. By November of 2023, the entire corridor was operational again, with new blue electric multiple units. Today, all 14 stations are functional. The corridor is complete. September 12, 2023 marked a turning point. Then Transport Minister Sindisiwe Chikunga officially launched Isitimela Sabantu, the People's Train, what we're on right now. And that was on the KwaMashu to Durban corridor. As we saw in Gauteng, these aren't refurbished trains. They're the same brand new Extrapolis electric multiple units manufactured at Gibela, equipped with CCTV cameras, air conditioning, automatic doors that won't open while moving, and critically for KZN's challenging terrain, anti-crash systems designed specifically for South African rail conditions. These safety features, they matter here. Durban's network includes steep gradients, tight curves, and flood-prone sections that demand modern braking and collision avoidance technology. These new trains are built for these conditions. Then let's talk about costs. A single trip like what we're on now costs less than 10 Rand, thanks to government subsidies. Compare that to a minibus taxi with its fares exceeding 25 Rand each way, and the economic impact becomes a whole lot clearer. The KwaMashu line itself represents 94 million Rand in recovery investment, creating 234 jobs and appointing 24 local small businesses. 10 of the 13 stations have been rehabilitated. Work continues on the remaining 3, with full corridor completions targeted for the current financial year. Now, across KwaZulu-Natal's rail network, the recovery program has invested 230 million Rand, creating 826 jobs and appointing 66 small and medium-sized enterprises. This is infrastructure spending with direct community benefits. Now, beyond Umlazi and KwaMashu, Durban's rail recovery continues across multiple corridors. Let's first look at the Cato Ridge line, which resumed service in November of 2022 with older rolling stock, then upgraded to the new EMUs in April of 2023. This 17-station corridor connects inland communities to Durban's industrial and port economies. Then when you look at the South Coast corridor, that's from Durban to Kelso. This presents unique challenges still. The devastating Ilovo Bridge damage from 2021 floods required extensive engineering investigation and reconstruction. Service currently runs between Durban and Wegenspreid, with extensions to Winkelspreid operations using the new blue trains. The full line to Kelso remains under construction, with completion targets for the year of 2025-2026. Then when you look at the North Coast line, this goes to Stanger. It serves 18 stations, 8 of which are now operational. This corridor supports both commuter traffic and connections to King Shaka International Airport vicinity. Full restoration is planned for this in 2025-2026. The Crossmoor Durban and Pinetown Durban corridors, these are actively under reconstruction. Crossmoor faced severe flood damage requiring embankment stabilization and complete infrastructure replacement. Limited EMU trial operations began in February of 2024, with full commercial service launched in March of 2024. Pinetown's recovery includes flood repairs at Moseley, Glen Park and Sanya stations, with work progressing steadily. PRASA is trying to get these open. The corridor is full and on track for service resumptions sometime in 25-26. So the reason why a lot of these things need to be fixed is for things like events, major events, sporting events. For instance, there are stations at most of the large soccer stadiums within the eThekwini municipality. You've got Kings Welitini, you've got Chatsworth Stadium, you've got Moses Mabhida, and you've got Princess Makoko stadiums. This train being operational in the way that it's meant to be would offer such affordable ways of getting to the stadium, getting there and getting back safe and reliably. So these issues don't just sit from daily commuters, also recreational use of the train and the ability for mobility to be seamless and simple. These are the things we need to get right, because it's so amazing. Like even now, there's Kings Welitini Stadium that's right here. You literally walk across and you can get into the stadium. So whether you were coming from the north of eThekwini and you want to come watch a game here, you can do so seamlessly. So these are the things that we need to fix, and these things benefit us as people, and they benefit general mobility within the metros, which is core for large groups of people. So we just need to get it right. Recovery isn't without obstacles though. Cable theft, vandalism, they still continue, though they are happening at reduced levels thanks to deployed security and community engagement. As in Gauteng, copper wiring in overhead traction equipment has been replaced with aluminium where possible, thus reducing theft incentive by up to 90%. Flood vulnerability remains a genuine concern though. Climate patterns suggest that more extreme weather events are ahead for the Durban area. PRASA's reconstruction incorporates flood-resistant design, reinforced embankments, improved drainage, elevated infrastructure where the terrain permits. But nature's power was demonstrated dramatically in April of 2021, and this ongoing vigilance is essential for these systems. Signaling system restoration, it still lags behind other infrastructure, but many corridors still operate under manual authorization and written orders rather than electronic signaling, limiting frequency and efficiency. This is a tough one. A provincial train control system project is in the contract negotiation stage with 7 years of construction planned once agreements are finalized. Things are set to change for the better. The challenge of integrating with Transnet's owned infrastructure also still persists. Lines like the North Coast route via Effingham and the West Line, they require coordination between PRASA operations and TFR, Transnet Freight Rail's maintenance schedules. So the inefficiencies that you find on this line and some of the commuter challenges that are found here are created by a multitude of things. One, geographically, there are hills. So when water floods in, it doesn't necessarily clear the normal way that it would if you had constructed properly. There's encroachment that happens from the communities. Communities have built so close to the PRASA rail systems and the lines that there are no access roads to sort out faults when something goes wrong on the line. Thus, when there's a small delay, it becomes a big delay. The other thing is that with a lot of illegal dumping and vandalism, you find that it becomes almost really tough to operate on this line. So it's really disheartening when you see the pure potential that a world-class service like this is now hampered by some of the issues on the ground, issues that can be solved, issues that can be changed. What makes Durban's rail recovery significant isn't just restored service, it's the integration vision. The eThekwini municipality and PRASA are finalizing a memorandum of understanding to address years of station neglect, improve security, and integrate passenger rail with broader urban developments. This is what you need. integration. This agreement focuses on transit-oriented developments, mixed-use residential, commercial, and social infrastructure around station precincts. The goal is transforming stations from mere transport stops into community hubs that drive economic activity. In fact, we got an opportunity to speak to some of the people and the traders that operate around Durban Station.
Igama lami nguJabu Ndlovu ngokuhlala ngikaJay Umlazi. Mina uvo lwami isitimela sengisigibelile, I think uqala kwami ukusigibela it was 2004. Qala kwami ukusigibela. So sisigibelile ezabahlali bakaJay, okuningi okwenzekile besingakuthandi but besinganawo amandla. So since now sesisebenzisa lesi njengamanje lezi ezikhona ezintsha, mina ngihappy ngazo esayidini lami, mina njengoba nguJabu Ndlovu ngihappy ngazo. One, i-cleanness engiyithandile ngazo, i-safety, si-safety. Another thing, lento yokuthi sigcine manje kuyadayiswa, kuyaphithizela, kuyashayisana yonke leyo nto, ngihappy futhi ngakho.
Oh, hayi igama lami Umzi uHadebe Isibo. Ngidayisa la PRASA, ngaphansi kwaPRASA ila ngiphila khona. No, hayi kwethu ubudlelwane buhle kunoPRASA. Ngoba ile ndawo sikuyona indawo vele abantu abaningi abafikela kuyona iDurban Station, abanye behle esitimeleni beze ngalana bandlule kuthina basixoshela khona. Ya kukhona kona mhlambe ukudinga nje lokho nalokho ukuthi bakulungise. Kodwa kuzinto vele eziye zithi mayiqhamuka ngaleso sikhathi sidlulisela kubona bayithathele phezulu bayilungise.
When everything is complete, the long-term vision for PRASA includes 9 corridors under the Go Durban Integrated Public Transport Network. Rail forms the C2 corridor spine, KwaMashu to Umlazi via Durban CBD. This connects with well-planned bus rapid rail corridors, creating a genuinely integrated multimodal system. Stations like Umlazi, where we were, have been completely modernized. Work completed in September of 2023 includes platform upgrades, advanced lighting, new signage, fitted seating, upgraded ticket offices, staff facilities, ablution improvements, and perimeter fencing. A standby generator ensures continuous operation during power interruptions. This is crucial. Durban's rail story is one of determined reconstruction against extraordinary adversity. From 97% ridership collapse to 6-fold recovery. From flood-damaged embankments to operational corridors. From vandalized stations to modern transportation hubs. From service suspensions to millions of passenger journeys. The challenges remain real. Weather vulnerability, security concerns, infrastructure gaps, and coordination complexities all require ongoing attention. And yes, current ridership is still only 20% of pre-collapse levels. Full recovery will probably take years, not months. But the foundation is solid, investment is flowing in, communities are reconnecting with opportunity. The people's train is running, and every day 56,000 passengers prove that rail still matters in KwaZulu-Natal. For the hundreds of thousands who once depended on these rails, for the 56,000 who still use them today, and for the 250,000 that are expected to return as more corridors open. Durban's rail renaissance isn't just about infrastructure. It's about restoring what was lost and building towards what's possible. Next up, we head to the Eastern Cape, where Buffalo City's rail network is finding new life. Then from there, we move to the Western Cape, where the Cape Flats corridors tell their own story of spatial transformation and community reconnection. This is the People's Train series, profiling South Africa's rail transformation, one region at a time. Thank you for watching this video right up until this point. We hope that it was just as interesting for you to watch as it was for us to make for you. Maybe check out one of these other videos and hopefully they'll be just as interesting as this one. Cheers.